Hey everybody, this is Cherokee Edwards from Cherokee Edwards Inspires, where we're going to have shows here to talk about life, to talk about what makes your life special, what makes it better, and everybody working together, because together everyone achieves more. Acronym for the word team. Stay tuned and let's get it on. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Cherokee Edwards Inspires show. And today I'm going to be talking about something I was actually asked by a young lady that was in one of my briefings. She asked me directly to speak about love, and she heard me speak about my mother, which was my first queen. And then she heard me speaking about my wife, who is my current queen. And, I think it made her emotional. She's a mother of two children. She has a mate and she doesn't feel like, she's loved or appreciated. And I guess she wanted me to come on and talk about that. As you guys know, my goal is to get on here and talk about things that you feel are important, not just stuff about business, but also about life, and she's heard a couple of my episodes and a couple of speaking engagements when I talked about what was extremely important to me. And it generally started with God first, and then my mother, which was my earthly queen. And then, of course, she passed away in 2001, and God blessed me with my wife. And we met in 2003 and we got married in 2005. Well, the more we talked about things, the more I started saying there's so many women in here that were asking me questions about why do I call women queens? Where did I get that from? And do I really feel that way? And what makes a woman a queen? I think it's really important for all of us to understand where the queendom begins. The queendom begins when you're a little girl. The first process to being a queen is being a princess. And if you've always been called a little princess or, made to feel like you're a princess, and I think that is important for the mother to make her child feel that way, but it's extremely important for the father to make the daughter feel that way. And sometimes we're just not born and raised in a household where we get both the mother and the father in the household. I wasn't raised that way, and a lot of people weren't raised that way. So what I want to do today, and I know that I'm doing this for the females that I spoke with, recently, but I need to speak with the gentlemen. I need to speak with the men. Because we're the ones that have the power and ability to raise up a princess into a full-fledged queen. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. When I was young, my mom and my dad, they split up when I was 2 years old. They were never married, but they split up when I was 2. And a lot of you that follow me know that I'm the baby of 4 children. And one thing that I was always taught, and believe it or not, I was actually taught this by both parents, was to respect and honor women. Well, I always felt that my mom was my queen. And I got to watch a lot of shows and Coming to America and, back in the day, movies, the Pharaoh and all that. And I always liked the way the women that were queens, Cleopatra and, any queen that I got the chance to see, I was always impressed. So I always said to my Mom, you're my queen. You're my queen, period. So I remember telling her one day, when I was 14 years old, I was going to give her the world and ask if I could live in it. And I'm going to tell you, as sweet as it sounds, as corny as it sounds, whatever you might think, I meant every word of that. See, because giving my mother the world wouldn't mean that she ruled everybody in USA and all over the globe. What it means simply is you make it so she doesn't have any worries. You make it so that she doesn't have any bills. She doesn't have to worry about where's her meal coming from, or can she go shopping, can she go on vacation. These are the things that I meant when I say give her the world and ask if I can live in it. I wanted the world to be her oyster. Anything she wanted, I wanted her to have. Well, she always said to me, growing up, she said, baby, if you stay like this, I know you're the shortest of all your friends, the youngest of your friends, and this, that, and the other. And everybody's saying, oh, you're this cute little boy. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. And then after a while, you just say, look, I don't want to be cute anymore. I want to be handsome. I want to be fine. I want to be all these great things that these tall guys are getting called, And, I played sports. I played basketball, football. I ran track, boxed. I did a lot of things, and I loved it. I was in entertainment. I danced. I was a popper and break dancer and all that stuff, right? So all these things, I got into the hip hop world. And no matter all this stuff, it did bring me a lot of attention. It did bring me a lot of joy. But something, it was just missing. And I just felt like it was something that I couldn't control. I couldn't grow any more inches. I couldn't go to be as tall as some of my buddies. Back in the day, my buddy Herbie was 6 foot and we were in elementary school. I couldn't be his height. Mike, my one of my best friends forever, he got tall. They got their spurts earlier than me and they were bigger than me. And then eventually, I caught on and grew a little bit, but I was still short, right? My mom grabbed my hands one day and she said, baby, one day you're going to realize that these girls out here, they are going to be looking for what you naturally possess. And that is what's going to make you a giant. In every room you ever walk into, people will understand that there is somebody to be reckoned with. Now, let me tell you what that does to a young man when he starts to feel that and starts to understand. It starts to make you think that you can accomplish anything. So you start to work on your strengths. A lot of people say, hey, work on your weaknesses, work on your weaknesses. I beg to differ. I think the best thing you could ever do to be successful in the shortest amount of time is to work in your strengths. In other words, stay in your lane. Wherever you're strongest, that's where you stay. Now, back to the way I feel about women and why women, are so special to me. My mother wasn't treated the best by men that she dated and that she was with, and she wasn't able to stay with my dad. My dad was financially sound. He was an engineer, very smart and sharp man, very classy. But the thing was, my dad was kind of like my mom's dad, more so than a potential husband. But I will say this for my dad, which I commend. My dad wanted my mom to stay home and raise the children while he was the breadwinner and he took care of stuff. That's the old school way. But if you really think about it, ladies, that's not a terrible thing. It's just that my mother wanted her own life. She was a very young mom, and there were a lot of years separating the two of them. So, she wanted to go out and hang out with her friends at the time. And she also wanted to be a nurse. So she definitely wanted a career. Well, my dad didn't want that. And that's where they really butted heads. So, of course, one lived in Philadelphia. The other one stayed in Jersey. My dad moved us to Jersey because he wanted to raise us in a more sound and stable environment. My mom didn't make as much money as my dad did. So she couldn't live in those type of homes that were there in South Jersey. Well, here's the deal. Going back to my mom always telling me, I want you to treat women the way you treat me. So the first thing I had to make sure I never did, and still to this day, I just won't do it. I refuse. I would never call woman out of her name. So unless it was baby, sweetheart, sweetness, something that makes a woman smile and feel good. And some of you guys are going to be listening, oh man, you're whipped, you're this. But I promise you, I live a really good life because I learned how to make women happy. And my mom started that trend by telling me, When you walk in the rooms, be respectful. Open the doors like you open my door. Pull out the chair like you pull out my chair. Let the woman order first like you let me do it. Now, I'm going to get a little deep tonight. So, ladies, you might want to grab your wine, sit back, kick your shoes off, and chill out. I'm going to take you into a little bit of my world. And guys, get your pens ready, your recording. I'm going to give you a little bit of Cherokee 101 in the true love of a woman. Now, when we talk about this, I'm going to be a little deep in some things. I know this is a PG show, so you're going to get nothing but the clarity and the politically correct words, but I need you to read between the lines. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of this deep love. Now for a word from our sponsors.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Okay, y'all. This Cherokee, I'm back. Now, let's get into this thing. The first thing that I thought was special that I learned even at a young age was to give women foot massages. Let me tell you guys something. There's nothing more erotic, devastating, and special than to take your woman's feet, put them in your lap, and not for your own personal gain, trust me, but to start to rub her feet. If she's been up all day, she's been walking, just take them in your hands and let her feel your powerful hands rubbing her feet. These are the things that I do for my wife to this day, and we've been married for 15 years. We've been together 17 years. But it starts there. And the other part of this, which can't be overshadowed, is to truly make love to a woman. It starts with the mind, the mindset. You have to make love to that woman's mind before you touch her body. So in other words, you need to be the type of man that says, I want to make you feel good. I want to work for you. I want to be the reason that you smile all day long. I want to make it so you know that there's a powerful man behind you. And guys, I'm telling you, loving on your woman does not make you weak. It makes you powerful beyond measure. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, the things that we do, the haircuts, the working out, the dressing nice, smelling good, nice cars, all that stuff. Generally, we do that to attract the most beautiful women we can get, right? So I learned how to massage. I thought that was one of the most special things ever. But then I also learned to talk to women a certain way, soften my voice, get on the phone with them and, ask how their day was, but not like, yo, what you do today? No, what you do? More like, hey, baby, how was your day? What was going on today? Oh, yeah? All right, talk to me about that. Wow. Let her know how beautiful she is. If you're on the phone with her, tell her how beautiful she is. Tell her what you think of her. Tell her and make it serious. Convince yourself you did think about her all day long. Or there hasn't been a day that's gone by where you haven't thought of her or looked at a picture of her. And today's age is even easier because we have, screenshots, Facebook, Twitter, FaceTime, Duo. We got ways of being able to communicate and see each other. But I think it's very important that you love her mind. Now, of course, I'm a man. you're going to look at a woman's body and face and you're going to say, man, she's beautiful. I want her. I get it. But once you have her, you got to know how to keep her. So the first thing I would talk about is whatever it took to get her, that's what it takes to keep her. So if you started massaging her feet and she says, oh God, I love this. I love when you do this, right? You just began that and you're feeling, oh yeah, I had to do this to, make her know that I cared about her. You got to keep doing it. I had a friend that, she had a male friend giving her flowers like literally every week when they met. And I was telling her, just give it time, let's see if it's real. And, after a couple months, maybe, I think 1 or 2 months, the flowers stopped coming like that. And, the special stuff wasn't there. Women are here and made to be loved and be treated special. Men, we're strong. And I know a lot of times we like to be hard. We don't want to cry in front of females or anybody else for that matter. And a lot of times we don't want to watch chick flicks because of that very reason. But I will tell you, if you can hold your woman and watch The Notebook or any of these special movies that we call chick flicks, there's nothing you can't do with her. There's nothing she won't do for you. Once she knows you love her and you are her protector, you don't have to worry about her taking care of you because women are born nurturers. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to the rule. I know, I get it. But even for the females that we think are maybe, they're maybe not that great. If you go back in their history, back in their past, you'll probably see some type of abuse that she's endured that took her away from the nurturing process. So again, even a woman like that can be turned into a queen. You don't want a woman to always fear you or to fear talking to you. Communication is big, and communication comes on all levels. So even if it's about sex, if it's about business, if it's about just a relationship, right? Communication is everything. A woman's body will tell you exactly what she likes if you pay attention to it. She doesn't have to say it with her mouth. If she likes you to kiss her a certain way, you'll see it because she'll receive you better. If she likes you to touch her hand, if she likes you to hold her hand, she's going to get a little spirited when you reach and grab her hand. But don't just hold her hand because that's your first date. Don't hold her hand because you haven't gone to the sexual level. Hold her hand because she's that important to you. Feel the ability to protect her. These are all powerful sources. And if you notice, it has nothing to do with the actual act of sex. But make no mistake about it, this is the first and most powerful steps to truly making love. Now, we may call it what we want because you might be more vigorous, and sometimes a woman wants that savage, and you got to be able to turn into that. But the first thing she has to do is know that you have her best interest at heart. You're tuned into her body, to every move, to every quiver. You're tuned into the way she speaks and fumbling of the words where you guys can laugh about it, right? That's that love. That's that butterflies in your stomach type love where she can't wait to hear your voice on the phone. She can't wait to see your car pull up to come pick her up just to go to a movie. These are the things that turn a princess into a queen. When you address her by her name or address her as your queen, baby, sweetheart. Not a woman that you don't know. Don't call women that you don't know baby. Don't give them shorty. You don't give them that. You confront them with respect. Now they say, well, he came at me the right way. Maybe I am something. You don't know what guy just told her she's not going to amount to nothing. She's nothing. And a lot of guys, come on. One thing we got to do, guys, if we're going to love our women and we're going to and we want a queen, we have to respect the children as well. Whether you have children or not, you respect all children. And I'm talking to the men because when women see you, respecting and spending time with children, it makes their heart open up even more because they're nurturers by nature. So when we tap into that, we make them want to know more about us. Now, a lot of times, smart women want to know how you treat your mother. And how you treat your mother is generally indicative of how you're going to treat them. So if you don't treat your mom like something special, like a queen, the chances of you treating your girl like a queen is slim to none. Now, I know you say, well, some people, what about the people that don't have great mothers? The moms, left them in the house by themselves all the time. And then, first of all, you got to know what was the reasoning behind that. Maybe she was a single mom and she had to work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of you, but the guy may not want to tell you that part, But the point is this: if you can treat your mother like a queen, your grandmother like a queen, you can treat your girl like a queen. You treat your sisters like that. That's what they love. Now, all this was being said before the act of sex. Sex is the reward, if you will. It's the dessert after the meal. But the true measure of a man is to mentally make love to that woman from head to toe. If you say that you want to kiss a woman from her head to her feet, truly mean that, and do it with a passion that you want to serve and please her. I've learned something over my years, and I'm not a little young kid anymore, but I've learned something over the years. When you take care of your woman, you are definitely going to be taken care of. And I'm saying it that way because it's just a true statement. Women that are being taken care of will never allow their men not to be taken care of. Never. So remember, when we talk about this, truly separate yourself from the guys that call women out of their names, disrespect them at every turn. Be different. Most guys, I've seen guys that get out of the car and their girls, in the car, and they just keep walking into the store, and the girl's just getting out of the car. She might be dressed nice, and she's probably dressed for him like that, but he keeps on walking. I've seen it where it's raining, and the guy walks, to the car. He gets on his side, never pulls the car up for her to get in, and it's a lack of love being shown. So why would she want to make love the way you want to make love? And I'm saying make love, guys, because I'm on this radio station, but you know exactly what you're thinking when I'm speaking like this. And it's so important, a woman that is made to feel beautiful is going to want to be in that area a lot more than if she's feeling like a tramp or a slut or whatever else you want to call her, because she shouldn't be any of those names. If you call her that long enough, she's either going to turn into that or she's going to walk away from you. So these are just, I promised this young lady I would do this. It was a group of women. I promised them that I would give you guys a little food for thought. I don't have enough time to really go too deep into this, but I wanted to hit it hard. When you want a woman and you want her to want you, you have to be something different than what she's seen and walked away from. So when you want something special, you have to be something special. When you make love to a woman, make love to her face to face. Now, can you switch positions? Of course you can. Of course you can. But I know guys that, I'm hearing about the first thing they want to do is turn a girl around. Hey, that's great. But don't let that be the only or the first thing you do. Now, sometimes, yeah, of course, because you've been there, you've run in a pattern. You've done some things. You spent time with her. She knows you love her. Now she's going to let you do a lot of things. But the first thing she needs to do is feel appreciated. Massage her feet. Massage her legs. Massage her back. Rub lotion on her body when she gets out the shower. Not for the promise of sex, but for the promise of her enjoyment and known that she's special. When she walks in the room, you be the first to greet her. This is the part of making love. When you make love, you start with the mind, then the body, then the soul. See, these things go hand in hand. But once you've done that the right way, you don't have to be insecure, guys. Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of guys mistreat females because they're insecure. They don't feel like they're enough. I spoke about this in my other podcast, but not about the sexual part, but about the business part. And I was saying you are enough. Well, guys, you have to be enough. And enough is enough. The reason why our women are not treated as special as we really believe they are is because we don't treat them as special as they really are. So at some point in time, they feel like they're not special. So let's make a pact to ourselves as real men. The real men stand up. Real men treat our women special. Let's stop calling women the B word. Stop calling them all these out of whack words that do nothing but demoralize them. I can tell you right now, my wife is my queen, and she has my back on everything I do, the ventures, the businesses. You know, if she feeds me, she makes sure, and there's times where I'll cook for her and I'll make sure things are done. But there's not a day that's gonna go by that she's not gonna make sure I don't eat. You know, and whatever I do, she supports that. And that's because for 17 years, she's been my queen. And I'm not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I am. But I tell you one thing, I'm never going to call my wife out of her name. I'm never going to yell at her like I'm crazy. I'm never going to cuss at her. For 17 years, I haven't done it. Why should I start now? But I will tell you this, for every one of you that have a beautiful woman by your side, if you don't learn how to treat her, somebody else will. Now, your life is in misery. And I've seen people with so much pride, but pride comes before the fall. You sit up here, I don't care. She could do whatever she wants to do. You say that because your friends are there. But at the end of the day, we know who you'd rather spend your evening with, your night with. So make sure you understand, and it's nothing wrong with letting the world know who you'd rather spend your time with. And those of you that have children, this is the order. You take care of your woman. Your woman takes care of your child. You make sure that child knows that her mother is a queen and not to be trifled with. Guess what? In return, she really is your queen. She'll take care of you. She will love you beyond measure. You won't have anyone ever better in your corner. And because she feels like she's a queen, it's easier for the daughter to feel like she's a princess on her way to being a queen. And as for you young men out there, you're princess. You're a princess. And prince grows into being a king. Because there's no queen without a king. And there's no king without a queen. One needs the other to coexist. And I'm saying this stuff because I get so tired of seeing the same old thing. Oh, that's my baby mama. That's my baby daddy. You know? And then I see and hear about men mistreating the mother of the child. And you claim to love the child, but you allow the child to see you abuse her, her mother or his mother. That doesn't make you anything but small, fellas. No matter what the baby mother did, you do not show that type of frustration and irritation to the child, because it transfers to the child, and the child will one day resent you for it. Trust me when I tell you. I'm a product of a broken home. And I still hurt today because of things that were done to my mother. And both my parents are deceased now. So with that said, I'm going to cut out of here. But in wrapping this up, men, love your woman. And when I say love your women, love your children, love your wife, love your girlfriend, love your mother, love your grandmother. If they're still alive, I'm going to need you, Mother's Day's coming. I'm going to need you to know that every day is Mother's Day. Every day is a day to take care of them. It will make your day better. It will make your day better. And it was a pleasure tonight. It was a pleasure for me to get on here and tell you, women, that you are queens. If you don't hear it enough, you're beautiful beyond measure. And I hope your men really realize that and snap out of this craziness. But until next time, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. Wash your hands. And I'll talk to you later. See you on the next show. Peace, everyone. One love.